Alright then, chat. Today, we are going to be reacting to 9 to 5 workers versus streamers debate. What's harder? Face rage baiting with that video? Bro, for sure, bro. I ain't gonna lie, this is probably gonna be funny as fuck.
You're gonna disrespect your mom like that,
She
dude.
is right now.
You're gonna disrespect your mom and say that your work is harder? That is so rude.
All right, can I talk? Can I talk?
Hairspray.
Listen, so you're
Okay, let me put my take though. 1. 9 to 5, it depends on the job, and streaming depends on the streamer for sure. But 9 to 5, you usually have a set, like, you usually have a set function to do, like, you know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm trying to say? Like, you have things that you go everything, you gotta do that thing every day, depending on the job, of course. But streaming, you gotta be innovating every day, or else you're not gonna be successful. If you do the same shit every day, some people get bored of it and not gonna watch you at all. So if you're talking about creative and innovating things, I think streaming is harder. But if you're talking about work and actually like doing things, 9 to 5 is harder. But that low-key kind of hot. Second to me, of course. And third, right? Because I'm here. But all right, that's my take, low-key. What's y'all take?
Your job is
It's harder to rise on streaming, but harder mental, physical, 9 to 5 for sure. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like being a streamer is harder to be famous. You know what I mean? It's harder to be a successful streamer. It's like, bro, it's millions of people trying to come up in this shit, bro. And only 1% of it is gonna get up there. You know what I mean? It's hard, bro. You're behind me and the
You would
dad.
have to actually
No, I'm not.
go to work.
get any
went to
views
school,
whoa.
and still.
and paid rent.
Yes, I still worked.
That's your choice.
You're hungover.
But that's true. A lot of people also stream as their like the second job, kind of. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like the part time. They do work and streaming, or like me, I study and stream. So it's like kind of fuck up a mental too, cause like I don't be getting any sleep, bro. So it kind of like at the same time I'm streaming, it also affects me on the school, cause I gotta stream, and this is the only time I can stream is after my class, and I finish class at 10 p.m. at night, so I can only stream after 11 p.m. cause I gotta eat before I stream. So it's like fucks up everything too. So it also depends on that. June thing, your birthday. Yo, Burberry is just racist, bro. But what's good, Ruben? Yo, been a while again? What the fuck? Maybe you're ahead of that, but only when weather is in your favor. What is that supposed to mean, bro? Alright, let's keep it.
games on my spare time.
I don't even enjoy streaming anymore.
This is definitely a rage bait video, bro. How you doing, Ruben? Welcome back, gang.
What's up? How's it going?
Same old different day.
Okay. All right, so
Okay.
my argument here is that streaming and social media creation is harder than a 9 to 5.
Nah, it's not facts, bro. 9 to 5 is way harder, homie.
Why do you say
It's all
that?
depends
You
on
gotta
the.
get up every motherfucking day, go to the motherfucking bullshit job, and slave for fucking pennies.
See, that's the thing is you're right. You get up every day, you go through the motions. You don't have to get a good night's sleep. You don't have to be focused. You don't have to be locked in. You wake up, you go, you flip some patties,
Nah,
maybe you sign a few envelopes, answer a few
nope,
phone calls
nope.
with streaming.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the lazy take, I feel like it's very valid. The lazy take, but not every job fits into that. You know what I mean? If you work in construction, he gotta be locked in. He gotta put like the work in, the actual work in. But for someone that just goes to flip patties, that's different. Then for sure, streaming is gonna be harder. Type of thing. Yeah, what's good, Arabiano? South Indian, bro. Yo, bro, don't call me Indian, bro. What the fuck?
Media creation, you have to be on your game 24/7.
Is it his Santa
No.
tat is killing me? Yeah, bro, that fake tat is crazy.
I'm a milk carrier, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. I get treated like shit every motherfucking day.
We
I'm
have to
still
deal with
slaving
thousands,
every day.
tens of thousands of people
Bullshit.
critiquing every little thing we do, every
Man.
True.
decision we make, every thought
You
we
guys
have.
got it made, man. I wish I had
We
it
don't-
made like y'all.
We don't have
I
to go
wish.
sign a few envelopes and put them in a mailbox.
Man,
We
you
have
got
to
it
be,
gravy, bro.
What's the next trend?
Because
What's the
the
next
shit I
idea?
go through
Oh
every
my
day,
God, I
and
have to
got
stream
dogs.
today.
And I got dogs that want to bite
You
my
do
ass.
look
And you have
Indian. Bro, I do not look Indian, bro. I do not look Indian, bro. Fake Brazilian. Yo, bro, I'm not fake Brazilian, bro. I'm half black, half white, okay? This S tier rage bait, let us, bro.
We don't have breaks. We're on 24/7.
But low key, I feel like Lacey's not rage baiting here. I think that's actually his take. Because low key, it does make sense. You know, as someone that never worked a job in a day in his life, I agree with Lacey.
High energy, 24/7.
He got
Be at
10.
home like you and get back and get paid.
I think he's Brazilian. Yo, bro, I don't.
Man.
Man, I'm white as shit. I'm pale as shit right now. What you mean? I got a 10. I think I'm Brazilian, bro. I'm like pale as shit. This is my pale skin. You never seen me dark, bro.
Parties, doing all this stuff.
I get dark.
Slave just for not even 100,000 a year.
You're brown as fuck, bro. I get darker than this, like way darker than this.
Okay, what about this?
I can show pictures.
You're guaranteed to get paid. You have a
No, I'm not.
steady rate.
If I don't work, I don't get paid. It's simple as that.
Bro,
have
but
a
you,
guaranteed
but yeah, I do agree with this. You gotta guarantee pay. If you don't stream enough, sometimes you don't make enough to pay your bills, or like, as me as a small streamer, sometimes I don't hit the $50 to take the money out. You know what I mean? So it's like
Hey,
not
if you
certain
don't
that
have
I'm
your
gonna
work
get
decision,
paid.
you don't
I
wanna
gotta
work.
work at the job for
If
years.
I don't go live, I don't get
just
paid
to
either.
collect.
You don't gotta deal with people spamming L's.
Yes, we have people in the chat spamming L's.
Oh, that was the rage bait, bro. Here goes the rage bait, bro.
Imagine you have to be high energy. Oh, hey guys, how's it going?
And a
You guys
pimp,
like this stream?
bruh.
That's me 24/7. I'd rather do that.
So why don't you become a streamer?
Man, that's what I want to do. F that. F does not define shit.
If streaming is so easy, how come every single person in this seat is not a streamer?
People are lazy.
Retweet.
They want to put in the work.
That's their fault.
I get called fat all the time.
Oh, so what? I can call fat and chubby. All my homeboys call me chubby, fat,
Well,
whatever.
That's your home.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and
Wow.
you right, homeboy, you right. But check this out. My nigga, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go out there and get that bag.
I think she's got something she wants to say.
Oh my gosh, wait, we're seeing a flag.
Unfortunately, these flags are actually useless. We
What?
decided to use a timer instead because we suck at explaining things.
So you raised your flag. Is there a reason you did
Yeah,
that?
because I was actually a cook for 15 years. So that means for 15 years, I had to get up practically every day, get dressed, go to work, and I had to deal with not only adults,
And flip
but I also
patties.
had to
Like, what the
deal
fuck?
with
Yo, bro.
children.
We deal with children every day, too.
We deal with tens of thousands of children and adults.
The Lacey Thugs are. Do you not know who the Lacey Thugs are?
I can't go out in
Professionals.
public without 10 kids coming up and asking for a picture. Do you know how hard that is of a
Oh,
life?
Isn't that
That is
special?
difficult.
How long do you think this is going to last?
Yeah.
Forever.
You think this
hopefully.
is going to last forever?
I hope so. You just proved my point for me. I don't have that security that's going to last forever. Having a job, being
That's
a
why he
cook,
gotta
you
grind.
have that security of, oh, I have a job, I have a degree, I have this. This could end for me tomorrow.
Hypothetically, if you all of a sudden you lost all your followers, what would you do?
I know what he'll do. Get up.
No, I'm asking
Trigger
him.
warning.
I'm asking him. What would you
Job.
do if you lost completely all your
Yeah.
YouTubers?
Trigger
You
warning,
had
bro.
nothing. No one watched you anymore. I didn't even watch you anymore. What would you have to do? You would have to actually have to go to work.
Whoa. Yo.
Did I just cuss at
Yo.
you?
Yo.
If
Yo.
I did lose
Yo,
all
chill
my
out.
followers, I would probably
Chill
buy
out,
a
Granny.
couple houses and start my real estate empire.
Okay, so then you would have to actually go to work. You would actually have to go to the office.
And I would think that would be a much easier job than streaming.
You gotta go into your setup though and sit in front of studio lights and read the chat and be interactive.
But
and
no,
stuff.
he lost everybody. He lost everybody.
I feel like,
There's no
bro, one
followers.
thing that actually makes sometimes streaming harder is faking your energy, bro. Most of the time on my stream, I have no energy, but I gotta just fake energy, bro. And it's even harder for people that's like big on Twitch, bro. Imagine like wake up every day and you're just not feeling it, but you gotta stream because it's your job. Like, bro, I feel like it's hard to do that.
Whatsoever.
And
He would
be
have to
entertaining.
turn
Yeah, but you're
around.
proving my point.
You would have
You're
to
proving
turn
my
around.
point.
And if you don't do that, you're gonna fall off.
Why this is harder because I could lose it all
Yeah,
tomorrow.
but you could lose it tomorrow.
If let's say you're a cook, right? Let's say you got fired. You have hundreds of people lined up. You could go cook over here, cook over there. You could be a private chef. You could be a private chef. Exactly. I don't have that security.
I was a cook in the school system. I cooked all frozen food.
But you still cook.
You still cook. You go cook for another school.
I think I saw a flag right here.
Flags. I see red flags.
I'm gonna have to backlight. Yo, Lacey, it's the truth.
I
it's only Lacey, or is it like?
Say we get a brand deal. I gotta post on an Instagram story. I gotta go find the 4 Loco can.
Yo,
I gotta make sure.
I gotta go find
like,
the
I gotta
4
make
Loco
sure I
can.
got the 4 Loco can. And
Not to mention,
You have to do work. That's the way to do work.
Lurk, yo, think for the lurk.
impressions too.
I gotta tag them.
And then that goes into falling off.
My name is Rhonda. I'm a registered nurse from the South.
Nice to meet you,
From
Rhonda.
Pine Bluff,
Okay.
35 years ago, I decided to go to nursing school because I wanted to be a creative, I thought. I loved fashion, I loved acting, I loved singing.
It goes
But
to
in the
nurse?
South, whole lot of racism. Back in the 60s and the 50s, people
Yeah.
didn't give a rat's ass if you created something, and they wouldn't support your business. So yes, a 9 to 5 is much harder. I had to work 7 to 3, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I had to support my daughter.
Rhonda,
You get
Rhonda,
spoiled.
can I ask you a question?
Nope.
Have you ever
You
done it?
get spoiled. No.
Rhonda,
You
Rhonda,
get spoiled, and your
Rhonda,
mama and
Rhonda,
daddy keep
Rhonda,
Graham
you
needs to
on.
chillax. Not facts.
Guys, I got a question for Rhonda. I got a question for
A lot of
Rhonda.
yapping,
Rhonda,
bro.
Yes.
Have you ever done a subathon?
What's a
Nah, yo,
30
retweet.
days.
Retweet. A 9 to 5 don't compare to a subathon, bro. Imagine being 24 hours for 30 days at least in front of a camera. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie, I could never do that. I think.
Straight
24
hours a day.
day and night. No break.
We all streamed for
That ain't even healthy.
You're talking about working 7 to 3. You have 2 30-minute breaks throughout that. You get to go home afterwards, see your family, relax. We were on camera 30 days straight, no personal.
What
If you know how
day
hard
were
it
you
is
a registered
to
nurse?
have.
When did you get a break? You clean boo-boo?
When have you ran a
You-
3-minute ad?
You
When have you
clean
ever
up
ran? You
vomit,
never ran a
Yo.
3-minute ad.
ashtrays,
Nah, yeah,
you
that's true.
shorthanded.
She never ran a 3-minute ad.
Relationships that you have.
Oh my God.
Now
It's fake
think
on
about
social
this.
media.
Think about this. Imagine
Sure.
every little person. We call them parasocials. They judge your
Parasocials.
relationships. You can't go out to dinner or have a girl take a picture in your car without them finding out and judging you.
caught with
based
my
on it.
ex
I
in
got caught with
public.
my ex, and I got treated like I was a pedophile for it.
But mental health. When you stop caring about what people think and what they say about you, do you. And that's a big problem with younger people. You care about what
But
people
their size
say,
is different.
social
They can
media,
just
what they say about
do
it.
you.
That's our job.
You said you're a nurse, right?
35 years.
What do you think's harder? 24-hour open surgery, like when you're helping with, the doctor, et cetera, or a 24-hour stream?
24-hour open surgery.
Oh, brother.
Short-handed.
We're saving thousands, you're saving one.
Nah, retweet. Okay.
All right, so you said 30-day subathon, right?
Yeah.
My argument is that none of you guys actually did any of the work during that, and it was all your filmers, your
part of the
editors,
face team?
your producers. All these people back here are the ones doing the work. You guys just show up and have fun.
They didn't
What?
do anything.
It's a group project.
No, because here's the thing.
That's bad takes.
That's bad takes. That's bad takes. That's bad takes.
That is bad
Wouldn't have
takes,
any
low key.
work if it wasn't for us, though.
I would even go as far to say as every person in this room, we keep them employed as well. Because here's the
that's
thing,
true.
we get sponsors from these companies that have 9 to 5s, right? These companies, hold on. These companies are not viable without influencers to push the brand and keep them in business.
Have you ever worked a real job?
No.
So how would you
See,
know?
I have worked a real job.
What was your real job?
I worked 8 months. I worked a double. I worked Walmart and Panera at the same time for a year.
Actually laughing.
What's-
Bro,
what's so
stop
funny, bro?
making me mad. I actually feel like they're wrong.
Alright, wrong. Oh shit. This shit about to go down, bro.
Hi, I'm Chris.
All right, Chris.
Why do you think a 9-to-5 job is not harder than what you do?
Let's see, wrong
guaranteed
sake.
to pay.
Guaranteed to pay.
Yeah.
And that makes it harder?
Yeah. No, it makes it easier for you
Makes
guys.
it easier
Yeah.
because we have a guaranteed pay.
100%. You have
Makes
security.
it easier
Talk about
for
raises.
Makes it easier for 9-to-5 people to have a job because their pay is
Yeah,
guaranteed.
when you go to work every day, everyone's
So you're
like,
basing the ease of a job just on somebody getting paid regularly? Is that what you...
well, let's just say that comes to
That's
perspective.
the ease on the
If you say
mental-
Someone who works food, if you're someone who works a doctor, it's obviously different. But if you're talking abroad, 9 to 5, someone who doesn't need a degree, yeah, it's way easier than being a streamer.
How so?
Well, it's because you're guaranteed and you don't need any crazy knowledge. You don't need to go to school for most jobs, like certain things like a 9 to 5. If you wanted to go work at Foot Locker, I could go to Foot Locker, apply, And then next thing you know, I'm selling shoes for pay every single hour.
So according to you, a job is easier or harder based on the guaranteed pay. That's one aspect of it.
Working
right?
at Foot Locker, working at a job like Panera or wherever Lacey is easier than a streamer, yes, because a streamer you have to come up with ideas, you have to stay relevant.
We're talking about ideas now. Okay,
yeah,
we're talking about pay.
Okay, so what do you want to start with, though? But it doesn't make. But
well,
you're not even. You keep switching it. So why don't you answer my question?
I'm not switching anything.
You know, you 100% are.
Yeah.
So how is it harder if you're guaranteed to pay? I worked for 4 years of streaming. I didn't make $1.
Well, what's your definition of hard? That's the thing. It's like what
Stuff
is
that
difficult.
you need creativity. You need to get out of your circle, comfort zone.
Yeah.
You need to be able to actually make people believe what you believe in the sense of like, oh, this is good content. Do you watch any TV shows?
I watch YouTube.
Okay, you watch
so
YouTube.
Much YouTube.
So it's the same thing.
Absolutely,
so the people that you're
yeah.
entertained by are the people like us, just for a different audience.
That's true, but you're talking about entertainment as a job. We could talk about entertainment.
This is entertainment,
as a job.
but this
yeah,
is entertainment.
Entertainment
But
as
my
a
question
job
to you
doesn't have
is
any
why?
guarantees. Absolutely.
So do you truthfully, you can sit here and think that working at like a Foot Locker or something like that, I'm just using that because that's the best example, is harder than a streamer?
It depends on what you are saying the word hard means to you. Because
In the
there's
sense of
hard
everyday
physically,
activity. Because
there's
some
hard-
people around here said, oh, I got to wake up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, we have to do the same thing.
Sure.
Some people do that.
And you deal with yourself.
No, we deal with millions
When
of people.
you're creating that content and you have your phone, you're dealing with you and yourself in that phone.
Okay, so what happens?
No, because they stream. It's not
That's
YouTube.
not true at all. I have an editor that I pay who relies on me. If I stop doing
Which
any
is
type
later.
of content, he loses
So when
a job.
you go to your job, when you go to work, rather than punching a card, you pick up your phone or you turn on a camera.
Okay, so when you punch the card, let's say, who's above you? Your boss, right? What happens if he just takes the business and he says, oh, we're not doing it anymore? You lose your job.
If the work is picking up a phone or turning on a camera as opposed to going in with a bunch of people and having to multitask tasks you have to do throughout your shift and deal with your
Tasks you gotta do
coworkers
throughout
and
the stream.
interpersonal thing. Tell me how much you do of that stuff while you are actually doing your job for however many number of hours that you are talking and typing and shitting and eating and all that stuff that everybody's watching you do.
Go ahead.
No, but there's actually a mental aspect.
I understand that, yeah.
No. Let me hear me out.
Go ahead.
Camaraderie. Like you have like a group of people, like friendships, relationships, which is the most important thing in life. So do you build that with your coworkers and stuff like that?
Sorry, bye. See you later.
Seeing a lot of flags.
What? Yo, Gramps got cooked. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
So I'm Angelina, and I work as an executive assistant.
You're right. You're right. She's right.
Nah, facts. She's right. Nah, she got it. 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 Nah, yeah. 9 to 5 hours. Low key.
All right, so you guys were talking about the mental aspect, and I thought that was really interesting because as someone who works a 9 to 5, technically it's a 10 to 6, but I still have to clock in a certain amount of time. I come home, I'm too tired to cook. Fortunately, I have a beautiful girlfriend that does all of that stuff for me when I get home, but if I didn't, I would have to cook for myself and get to bed in time and wake up in time to commute back to my job. You guys talk about how it's hard because there's a mental aspect, and I understand as someone who's been on social media a lot that you get
How long have you
berated.
been on social media? Just to get broad.
So I actually did content creation starting at the age of 14. When I moved to LA, I gained like 10,000 followers off the bat, and I was very young, and I started working with different brands.
Okay.
I totally understand the mental aspect. It's just that you guys can afford to say, hey, I'm gonna go wherever for 2 weeks, and that can be content, that can be your job, and you actually get to relax and travel the world and have other
So
opportunities.
you're just saying a lot of points.
There's no relaxation.
Just so I can answer a couple. So you were saying like to go back to the beginning, you were saying like you can manage like your time with like relationship. Was that correct? Like you have your girlfriend when you go home, like.
I fortunately have a support system, but I every day like ask myself how I would
So
have
I'll
been
give you
able
a
to do it
perfect
without.
example. So you said 14 you started. I started at 16. For about 3 years, I was making money, and it slowly went super up, and then all of a sudden it went down. Right?
Yeah.
I lost everything, fell off
He was about to
completely.
k-
About to myself. Real story. This is a real story. This isn't a joke. Why are you smiling?
We've all been there. Every 9 to 5 worker has been there.
So
That's
going
why.
back to what you said, how you have a support system. I moved across the country from my parents at the age of 19, lived alone in an apartment, was paying a certain amount of money every single month, and I was losing money. I wasn't making enough money to pay my, like I had money in my bank for my rent, but I wasn't making
It was
more than my
serious,
rent.
yeah.
So I was losing.
You were in the red every
I
month.
was in the
I
red
got
every
you.
single month. Girlfriend broke up with me at the time, so alone
whammy.
across the country. So it's like when you're alone too and everything's going down, where's my support system?
I don't like why she's laughing, bro.
Okay, so I have a question. You said that for the first 4 years you started streaming, you had no income. How are you able to survive?
I lived with my mom. I was 16.
So that to a certain extent is privilege.
That's privilege?
But a lot of people live with their
But
moms.
But my mom
and get a job.
Actually, how's that privilege?
It's privilege because you have the support system to have a place to live.
Well, at 15, 16, I would hope I have parents that would live with me.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't, and they have to take 9
That's
to
a whole
5s.
different discussion. So a lot of people don't have houses.
A lot of
when they
people
working
don't
9 to
have
5s?
families that support them or accept them.
But that's a whole different conversation. What does that have to do with the 9 to 5?
Because they still need to survive. So the fact that you were given
So
the
how did you move to LA?
I moved across the country as well with my mom when I was 15 years old.
Do you not think that's privileged?
I mean, we moved into a 1-bedroom in Santa Monica and shared a trundle bed.
But that's still the same.
I was reselling shoes to afford my mom's mortgage and everything.
I get it. I've definitely helped my family out in times where I was able to, but I also had to have my family support me in order for me to have certain opportunities to make money in the first place. So if you didn't have content creation, what would you be doing?
It's a great question. I don't know, because I didn't set my goals that way. I set up my life to that. I know I would do what I want to do. If we all got paid the same every single month, let's say just in simple terms, we all got paid $100,000 a month, a crazy amount of money. Would you guys still, truthfully, I'm asking a serious question, would you guys say that all of our jobs are harder than each other, truthfully?
Yeah, if she was a nurse, she had to go to medical school for years just to be able to have her
But
foot
she
in
knew
the
that
door.
she was getting security because she was going to be a nurse, correct?
Not secure.
How is it not secure if you knew what you were going to do?
Nothing's secure.
Nothing's secure. You just proved my point. But you just proved my point.
I feel like
No
Ron's
job
point
is
makes
secure,
sense.
but content creation gives you the ability
But
to have
her
those
point makes
savings,
sense.
but
I just
to
didn't
have
like the
an
part I said that Ron is like privileged because he used to live with his mom. Because like it doesn't make sense because like a lot of people live with their moms until they go to college. So that's what Ron was talking about. He was 16, living with his mom, and he didn't make $1 off streaming until he was like with 19 he moved out. And that makes a lot of sense because a lot of people get like 9 to 5s or part-time jobs when they're like 15, 16 until they go to college. A lot of people do that. That's the normal thing. I don't know why they say like he's privileged because of that. I'll be honest. I mean, maybe he is a little bit, there's people that it's not privileged like that doesn't have parents to pay like a place to stay. And I understand that.
Even
but I
if
feel
you
like it
do
doesn't
lose all
get
your
on this
followers
conversation, I'll be
one
honest.
day,
Yeah.
even if
Let's
you
say I
lose,
lost it all tomorrow.
you still have residuals of your previous viral
But
videos.
that's-
Even if people are hating on you and
that's not
shitting on you,
necessarily-
that's still adding to what goes into your pocket.
There's literally doctors who do one surgery and make hundreds of $1,000s.
Because they were trained for decades and they had to go to
So
school.
were we.
You went to school to be a content creator?
Streamer University.
Streamer University. Hello. Hello.
How you doing, bro?
Good, how you doing?
Alex.
No.
Gabe.
Gabe, how we doing?
I'm doing good. So first of
Alright,
all, I
you're
want
back.
to say I do respect all
I
of
got
you
food.
for what you do. I mean, you guys do work, but you do not work as hard as people who have a regular job.
You don't know that.
I mean, that I do know it for sure. It's very clear. People have to wake up and
the
do their
fuck?
routine over and over again. It's
You
not
look crazy.
a daily thing. It's a weekly thing. It's a monthly thing. It's a yearly thing. It's a life thing. And if they screw up, they lose their jobs. And they always have to be careful.
Okay. But streamers screw up. Let's say Jason. Boom. Screw up. Hard R. Bro. It's over. There's no coming back to the internet, bro.
Because if they do something weird, they say something weird to their coworker or their boss, they're going to lose their job. If you lose some followers because of something you say, you'll get other followers, and you have a large following enough where there's enough of a range of perspectives that people will always be on board for you as long as you're producing content. People who screw up at their jobs and lose their jobs and
I guess what he's saying does a little bit make sense because some people, let's say, like T Nichols pays. It was a pedo shit. Everybody weirdo. He got canceled. Boom. He streams and he still streams. And I see his streams. He's getting like 50 viewers, 100 viewers. So there's always gonna be people there, but he's still gonna lose a lot of amount of followers. I feel like
recession. There's
a lot of
not
people
of
stop
jobs,
following.
as could be now. They get potentially homeless or worse.
You ever heard of cancel culture?
What's that? Yeah, of course I've heard of it. But how many people have been canceled and came back? I mean, it happens all the time. Your boss is not going to be loyal to you if you don't get that thing on time 5 times.
Okay, but check it
you're
out.
done.
Okay, so listen, but to be able to get that loyal following of people that do follow you, you need to build that over years and years and years and hours and hours of trust and communication and intimate relationships with your audience.
Okay, so
that's not something that's just given to you.
Look,
you don't just fall into 1 million subscribers, 2 million subscribers, 3 million subscribers.
Of course not. It takes work for sure. But like what you guys are talking about in terms of like the toll it takes on you, a large part of it, and let me tell you something, I'm a little older than you guys, so a large part of it is just general angst from being young, and you just happen to have a camera in front of you and like talking to people or whatever, but at the same time, like, you're doing exactly what most people are doing, which is dealing with life stuff, and that's normal. Like the mental toll that it takes dealing with people and getting comments and this and that. That's
but it's different amount of mental.
But you don't have to wake up at 6 in the morning and get to your job and then be there and like be on the whole time, no matter what. Anyone who has a 9 to 5 has to do that.
I said, what do you do?
Well, I'm a college professor, so. I have to do that same
So
sort
you
of.
just gotta come in and teach the same shit for the next 10, 15 years?
Yes, you're right.
I mean, that makes sense.
We have to produce new shit every day.
For me in particular, to Silky's point, you're a college professor, so you're essentially reteaching the same curriculum to the same students.
That I had to take
what I'm
years
saying?
to learn, but
you know
yes.
what I'm saying? But I started making content when I was 12 years old.
Okay.
It started out playing Call of Duty trick shotting. I don't think anybody in this room could hit a crane shot. I don't know if anyone in this room could quick scope.
I don't know if that's something to be proud of, but okay.
So I had to do that for 4 years,
Okay.
right? And then I'm like, okay. Then I had to do YouTube for 4 years,
Okay.
right?
All right.
And then I had to do FaZe Clan, build FaZe Clan out, fix FaZe Clan, and then
Okay.
do streaming.
Okay.
So
And
you're
with how many
constantly-
people helping you?
How many people helping me?
Yeah.
Come on now.
For which stages?
All of them. There were a lot. You had a team.
When I was trick
Was
shotting-
it just you? Like
No. It
Okay.
was just me. There's receipts of this.
It wasn't built on the shoulders of anyone?
There's receipts on YouTube of me.
Okay, well, where did YouTube come from?
When I was
How did
13
YouTube become so
when I was
easy?
13
Because
years
a
old.
bunch of people worked their butts off 9 to 5, making it a thing.
That's
and
what
if it
you
didn't
did.
exist,
Okay,
if it didn't exist, you couldn't press
So the
play, you
fact-
couldn't press record,
So the fact that
and
you
then
have
just
a,
talk.
The fact that you have a campus to teach on. Then
Yeah.
boom, there you go.
Right, but I also had to spend years earning my credentials and mastering.
And I did it.
Come on, guys.
I think his
Your
take makes
credentials
sense
are
about
playing
the
video games. I
YouTube.
play video games on my spare time. Come on, guys.
So you
Video
just want to
games.
get paid to play video games. It's okay. We understand.
I'm Vicky, and my perspective is coming from a hair and makeup artist, physical job. Doesn't seem like any of you guys can even compete with the physicality.
brother.
You guys just, this is.
I
this
know
is
how to do a 3-strand braid.
Just sitting on your butt and talking into a microphone
know.
is very different.
So wait.
Very different than having to get up in the morning, carry all of your gear. You've got to carry all of your hair, makeup, all of your supplies. You have to haul it around, get up.
Or you
early
can
in
just leave it in the
morning.
car.
You stand on your feet all
Bet.
day. You never sit down.
I hear you, I
You're
hear you.
breathing
Build a
in.
house.
You're breathing in toxic chemicals all day.
All right, can I talk?
Hairspray.
Listen, so your whole
So
thing.
it's dangerous.
Listen, bet.
Your
Just
job
chill,
isn't
chill.
dangerous.
So
your
thing
job
is-
isn't
your thing
physically
is
taxing. You're just talking into a
So
microphone.
bet, listen. So
Stream can be
your whole thing-
physically taxing though.
Your whole thing is we can't do what you do, right?
It's not
No, no,
physical.
no, but-
I'm saying that
I
a
just-
9 to
y'all let
5
me talk for a
job where
second.
you physically have to do
So-
some hauling around stuff.
So
and
physically, I physically
you're
can't
just
haul
talking
around
into a microphone.
bags of like makeup. You physically could never trick shot. You could not hit a crane shot. You can't 1080. You can't hold a controller
Talk to
and
him.
make a 200K montage.
Talk
You
to
can't.
him, man.
No one in here can.
Come on, man.
None of you could.
But you
none
can
of
carry
you-
some, just
none of you
some
could
hair and makeup.
physically
And you have
go
to do that for 12 hours a day.
Yes. Actually,
You
yes.
think in 4 days they had a trick shot. It's taking you 4 days
wait.
they had a trick shot.
Actually, yes, I would have
Hours
to
a
do
day.
that.
And then your day is
Yes,
never
I
done. When you're
would.
done doing that, is your job done? Do you have to go shopping?
No, you gotta go
replace
put
all
another
the
shot.
things
Wait,
that you
stop.
use.
No. Listen,
You have to
Vicky,
clean
listen,
all of
Vicky.
your gear.
You don't know about dry streaks. You don't know about hit markers.
But when you're done, you're
You
done.
don't know about if the Elgato wasn't on.
When
Can
you're
you
done, you're
imagine
done.
these
Oh
things?
my God, disable
Elgato?
resample.
If I rendered my video in Vegas and I sent the editor the clips without disabling and resample,
Oh my God.
my montage is fucked.
You have
Your
to-
main underlying argument.
And that's
is
funny as fuck, bro.
what you do is physically
Daily, day
more-
to day.
Okay. Your main thing is What you do is physically more taxing and hard than what any of us
And
do.
dangerous.
I could say the same thing. You cannot physically trick shot. You could never. I would go as far
Okay,
as
so how many hours a day do you trick shot?
I don't think.
How many hours a day do you trick shot? How many hours?
When I was trick shotting, it was 12 hours a day. It was however long.
That's
I
fine.
needed to.
Yo, bro.
However long I needed.
I'm not famous, bro.
However long I needed
I'll tell you.
to hit a clip.
12
Nah,
hours
that's
a day.
retweeted that.
5 seconds.
It was good, Naveen.
He carries a Barrett 50 cal and he jumps
And it's the
off
weekend, bro. Usually the weekends,
Get on
there's
close
nothing, nobody on my
all the way
chat.
up to 10-10. I would have to get to last. I would have to pray to God.
You just gotta deal with it, bro.
In the right spot. Throw the concussion. Now I gotta have my rotations down. I gotta have my rotations.
Dead zones. Talk about the dead zones.
Talk about dead zone.
Stick drip.
Stick drip.
Thing is, for the most part, but that is not all YouTubers that are doing something physical. A lot of it is just talking.
Yeah, but she also said it was dangerous. We could walk around IRL stream and someone could rob us or kill us.
I gotta.
Wait.
They're laughing, but that's happened recently.
I've gotten a pumpkin thrown on my head by a crackhead.
Crackhead ran up to him on stream and almost
died.
Almost
Because he
decapitated
quoted
him
his
when he
thoughts.
Yeah.
Silky, okay. Now I wanna hear this. What does Silky has to say?
My name is Thelma. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Thelma?
I am very occupational. My last job, I worked as a librarian with elementary school children.
So
I have been an executive secretary, legal.
Very quiet, peaceful.
Yes, yes, all that. You know, because it's who you are. That we create
I'm done with
social
these.
media all the time because that's what we are. We're
How you doing, Naveen?
9-to-5ers, and we interact.
I was doing here.
And have energy with people. Where I don't think that you guys have that.
Are you serious?
You have false energy because you're across the screen. You're not interacting.
That's even
with
harder,
people
though.
Like we do.
So what are we doing right now?
interacting?
What are we doing right now?
You're doing it now because we're doing a video.
Wait,
You gotta do that every time at the
That's
screen.
making it harder for us.
Do you know that there's millions of people?
Now I'm not gonna have all y'all gang up on me. Come
There's
on.
millions of people who watch the video.
Yes.
Who save lives every day.
Yes.
Probably more than doctors.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's people that literally stay alive because they want to watch our videos.
You know about going out into
That's
the
true.
clubs at night, staying out till 2, 10 o'clock in the morning, trying to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning so you can get dressed.
So you was
to
having
get-
fun.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so.
So, but I'm saying it's like you guys don't
Having fun
do
waking up
the
at 4 a.m. is
interaction.
crazy.
You don't touch people like this.
Okay, now
I guess.
What's going on?
I mean, that is true.
go to the club. You get to put some shades on and you go by your day to work. We can't do that because we have thousands of people.
But is
You're
that
drunk,
your choice?
You're high. You're
But is
hungover.
that
Just
your
get off
choice?
stream. We don't want to see you like this.
But is that your choice?
We don't like you like this. Why are you doing this?
But is that your choice? You chose that. You chose this
No,
life.
that's the thing. We can't. We
And
can't
that's
do
what's
what
happening
you do.
now. That's what's happening now with the whole world. It's a total disconnect. When you have a 9-to-5, you dealing with people. You touching people's hearts,
We deal with
souls,
people too.
mind. No,
What?
you are not.
Do you know how many
Yes, they
days
are.
we meet a day?
I think. Look, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I respect what you do.
you
because
watch-
I understand what she's talking about, but I feel like she has like a vision on streaming and content creating wrong. Because there was days that I was sad, I was depressed, and then I turned on a Stable Ronaldo or Jason DeWeen stream, and I was happy after that. You know what I mean? So I feel like their job do touch kind of like the people, and I feel like not everybody's gonna understand that in a way, because they never like felt like that never happened to them, so they don't understand, especially older people.
Any entertainment?
Oh my God.
Of course
But I
will.
understand what
I
she's
got
what
kids,
she's
I got
talking about.
You ever
She just
laugh? You ever laugh?
Of
I just feel
course
like
I will.
it's wrong.
The
We're
interaction
touching
with
them.
But the interaction is
Did
not
it make you
real.
feel better?
When I'm watching
Wait, did it make you feel better?
What make me feel
Have you
better?
ever
It all
watched-
depends on
Have you ever been
it all
entertained?
depends-
Have
it
you
all
ever been
depends
entertained
on
and been like,
what's coming.
oh, I feel good?
Some of it is fake.
right now.
Some of it is
You
fake.
see, you're not answering.
So now let me.
Okay, well let me answer because I'm debating him.
Okay, yeah.
But go ahead.
Right after this, I got you. Right
Okay,
now.
all
Go
right,
ahead. Yeah.
come on. Let's
So
get-
when you're entertained, have you ever felt like your day was better if you watched something? You've never felt like that?
yeah, sure.
So what's the difference with us?
The difference with you is that you guys do this 24/7. That's all you do.
Yeah.
You know,
What?
It is like you. Wait a minute. Somebody made a comment about, oh, I can't even go out with my girlfriend, or I can't even go out in public.
That's right.
I can go out in public and be seen.
So it's
You know what?
easier.
I'm a very social. I'm a very
That makes
social
it easier.
person. I'm very popular in where I do and where I am. I do social media.
I'm saying what we do has not affected people. It's not real. How come when I go out in public and I meet someone and they're like, oh my God, wait, I loved your videos growing up. You were my childhood. I used to watch you every single day.
Their hands shaking.
Like, you were my child. You know how like we grew up watching Disney Channel?
Yep.
I've had kids
Ben
come
10.
up hundreds of times throughout years of my life, had kids come up to me and say these things. So
Okay.
I'm Robbie. I'm a
That's
server at
between
an
them.
Italian restaurant.
Come on, bro. Life's easy.
Oh,
True.
that's not fair.
He has the same menu, makes the same food every day, bro.
First thing I'm gonna say is nobody's gonna say being a nurse isn't hard, because my aunt was. That is the
My
most
mom
difficult shit. How are you gonna disrespect your mom like
No,
that,
she
dude?
is right now.
You're gonna disrespect
She
your mom
loves
and
it.
say that your work is harder?
She tells
That
me
is
it's
so rude,
Nigga,
honestly.
She works 2 of them.
Okay,
She works at 2 hospitals.
Let me ask you something.
She said it's mad easy. She could work at 2 hospitals.
No disrespect. No disrespect, but what you do, I'm not your target audience. So break it down for me, because I don't even get it.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you something.
You just said I'm not your target audience because I'm black. That's what you just
What?
said.
Yo, Silky, chill. He did not say that. What the fuck? Yo.
You don't watch me because I'm black. And this is what I'm talking about. It's harder.
He has to get judged every
I gotta get
single
judged every day. Everybody thinks I'm a hoodlum. I'm a nice guy.
He's a jolly dude.
I can't get a job because I got tats. I used to work at Costco.
He just like
I
you.
had the-
What does that mean? What does that even mean? Just 'cause I'm half black, he's just like me now. That's what you're saying? You're saying he's my kind? That's what you're saying, Naveen? You're racist, Naveen. You know that?
Greatest 401k granted in
Yeah.
That means that when I retire, I get the
That's a nice
biggest
one, bro.
stipend of my life.
That's a nice one, bro.
Do you know I could just sit there and just meat pack all day just to really realize that, maybe 20 years I'm going to be sitting on millions because I worked at Costco's?
Yeah, Will.
okay.
I didn't have to interact with nobody, just packing meat.
Yeah, Will.
Come on, bro.
Hey.
Yeah, whoa.
I mean,
Do you enjoy what you do?
if I make it fun,
Do you make it fun?
I could make it fun.
Yes or no? Is what you do fun?
Not everything's fun.
What isn't fun? Break it down for me. What do you do in a day? We'll swap stories. What do you do in a day?
Okay, so it's very stressful, right?
Wake up,
Not
2
fun
p.m.
at all. Because this dude was talking for 20 minutes about playing video games.
Whoa. It sounds like you're jealous, I'm not gonna lie. But
You're on his diesel.
okay, so look, right?
So I'm jealous of a harder job.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
That was sarcasm. You didn't read it. No, I'd like to. hear
No,
this.
no, listen.
Thank
Listen
you.
to the time that
Yeah,
I wake
that's
up.
great.
I wake up maybe 3, 4 p.m. Know what I'm saying? I'm already drowsy because I just smoked the night before. You know why I gotta smoke? Because I just deal with thousands of people. I don't even like people. I gotta deal with thousands of them. No, let him stay. You gonna stay for this, right?
Wait, but you still haven't described what you've done other than smoking
but-
pot and waking up at 4.
Okay, waking up at 4 p.m., right? Now wake up. I gotta brush my teeth, right? Gotta make sure, cause I got a lot of comments. Now, he don't brush his grills. What does his real teeth look like? I gotta make sure. I gotta make sure that my yeah.
He got Chanel earrings like a bad bitch.
And there's girls in his chat too sometimes. So.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
I gotta make sure I'm freshly saving. I'm not saving for this video. I already know what's gonna happen. It's about to be negative comments. Yo, save that little scruffy shit on your face. Cool.
Silky got fat.
Now I have to game Marvel Rivals for probably 1 to 2 hours before stream. You know why? Because I don't get to game it for after work. Like I could just game it after work, bro. I can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do that, right? After I do that, now I gotta sit here and plan with somebody what I'm gonna do for the stream today. Oh, looks like we got no content. All right, let's see if we can just scrubble
Guess
something
what?
around.
No content, no money.
No content, no money. Now look, probably by 8 or 9 p.m., I'm still probably thinking I gotta do something for stream. My mind is fried.
Do you know what's crazy?
My mind is-
8, 9 p.m. for him? Oh, I did my work
He
today.
already did
I did my work today.
He took the same boss already.
You're going to sleep.
I don't want to hog the space here too much, but do you know the expression, give a man enough rope?
You're losing me.
I don't know this. I don't know.
Basically, you're talking
What is
yourself
that?
into a hole, man. Okay, my turn. I'll be brief.
Wait, give a man a rope.
What is he?
Wait,
It means-
is that racist?
Yo. Yo.
He has no social
All right,
cues.
all right.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're back?
Babe, I want to just say to you,
Rhonda.
I'm your black auntie.
Yeah,
That's what I
okay.
want to say.
Uh-huh.
You say you don't like people. It's all about relationships. That
Same, you know what I mean?
So
You gotta chill,
when
bro.
you say shit like that, Do you really mean that?
Do I not like people?
You said,
I'm an introvert. I'd rather be in my own space. I'd rather be by myself.
Same.
That's okay.
I hate people when I gotta deal with Naveen, but like,
You're
bro,
doing
nah.
that's helping other people.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Saving lives. I'm a superhero.
He's a hero.
He's a
I'm
hero.
a superhero, no cape.
He's a hero.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You look great. You look
That's
great.
right. I'm Thelma again.
I believe 9 to 5 is harder. I mean, fuck.
GG's. He sold first, bro. First words, bro.
Think streaming is so much harder. Why are you doing it?
I can't have a public relationship because of the public eye and how they judge my relationships. I had a breakup with a girlfriend that I loved so dearly because I chose streaming.
So my question.
Nah,
again,
I loved her.
My question.
I loved her, and you're laughing.
My question again.
Wait, what's that?
If you think it's so much harder, why are you doing it?
Because I'm passionate about it.
Okay, so you love it. You love streaming.
True,
You
Naveen.
love it more than you loved that girlfriend?
That's what I had to decide.
Oh.
I had to make sacrifice, and
So
that's
you-
what you have to
so
do.
you lost
with
the
streaming.
human touch.
But guess what? If I had a 9 to 5,
lost the human
if I
touch
was flipping burgers,
for-
I could have had a girlfriend still.
But you lost the human touch for the streaming.
Being a streamer, you have to be judged on thousands of people's opinions every single day. 9 to 5 person, maybe one,
But,
two, three.
okay, and then back to my point, is that your choice? Was that your choice?
But that's not the point, though. The point
No,
is
that's my point. That's my point.
streaming is harder
Was
than 9 to 5.
that
That's the point.
you gave up your girlfriend for streaming? Come on now.
Shit, he ran up a bag. He
Yeah.
ran up a
He did it
bag.
for a bag.
He did it for a bag.
But the thing is, it comes to a point. Do I pick love and a future with someone I care dearly for? Or do I pick
something that I
future
love?
Something that I'm passionate about and motion. I pick motion.
Guess it did make a little bit of sense.
Lala Costa?
La Costa.
Amazing name.
I'm an attorney.
She makes a percent off people's fuck ups. I like that.
If you had an opportunity to get a 9 to 5 that you could create yourself, like whatever you want,
Yes,
9
I
to
would.
5, you would take it?
Yes.
Because why?
Because I don't even enjoy streaming anymore.
You don't? What? Come to this side.
No, but I have to because this is what I built my career off of.
You feel stuck.
I feel stuck, yeah.
Have you ever watched a show and you stopped watching it?
Mm.
Have you ever watched a show and you were like,
All the time.
it's the same thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have to.
That TV show can't. It's done. What happened to all those actors?
It's
after that?
canceled
They gotta
because I
go to-
stopped watching?
Well, no, I'm saying if thousands
Baby, stop.
of thousands of you
Honey.
stopped watching.
I think you guys are mixing all
Yeah,
the issues.
Cartoon Network. It's like
and
they
not
got millions of
focusing
people.
on-
You guys know what Cartoon Network is?
If your
It's
father would
gone.
stop, would you come up with a different brand then?
All those people are gone. Yeah, but pivot. That's the point.
That was a quick segment, Jason. Yo. They gave Jason 5 minutes on the screen. Nice to meet you. Swag.
I'm a professional model.
I like swag.
But
Okay.
I've worked since I was at the age of 14.
Okay.
I was a gamer too.
I just think personally, like I agree with Jason that I think streaming does take a certain more stop than a 9 to 5, and I also think everybody in here, right? If you guys all try to be a streamer, right, and then we all try to do what you guys do,
You get L's in your chat.
the probability of everybody here trying to be an attorney is way higher than somebody making streaming a career.
Absolutely, your job is you just got lucky because you're a gamer. You got lucky. There's so many people
I was
like
just-
you
I was
out
talented.
there.
It wasn't
These
pure
days,
luck. I was-
everybody's an influencer. Come on.
No, but
So many.
no. But specifically what I do, I'm not posting selfies around.
But
the world,
influencing is
it's
different than
basically
streaming.
It's all pure talent.
Wait,
Okay.
Can I just why is he lucky? Why do we all get lucky though?
What is your talent?
Yeah.
Call of Duty. I was a professional Call of Duty player, like actual the
So you were
gaming.
sitting at home and you're thinking, what am I going to do with my life while you were gaming? You're like, oh, let's put a
I was
camera.
16, so it wasn't really like
yeah,
that.
You,
so
you weren't really thinking of what should I do with my life, like what should I study, what should I like, where does my life go? You just got lucky.
It's not luck. It's
because-
just he's determined. He knows that's the only route.
He didn't get lucky. He put in hours.
Yeah, no.
That's what we do too. We go to
it
school,
wasn't
we
luck.
study.
Everybody's a little bit of luck. I think people who don't have a job, they feel they want to get lucky by getting a job. So I think people even having a job is some sort of luck.
He said, how many people of us could do this? No, it's luck. It's one.
How many
of a
times I
million.
applied to a job and I got denied, bro?
How is that luck?
Sometimes all you need is a little bit of luck to get accepted.
Has to be the best. So how are you going to dismiss
Is
all
he
his
the
hard
best?
work and all of his
Is he the
talent?
best?
I got four. I got four.
No.
Let me give my statistics. There was over 300,000 people that played Warzone last year. This is the game that I play.
Okay.
I got 4th. So I was a top 12 player across the entire world.
And you're telling him
so
you're
that's not luck. That's pure skill.
So you're dismissing. Is
True.
Michael Jordan lucky? Is LeBron James lucky?
Yes.
Are they lucky?
I mean,
no,
they have a talent. They have a talent.
They had a
But
team.
as-
So what
you
he
know how
do-
many talented people out there and don't get the chance, they don't get the shot at it?
I don't want to take up his time. So he's not talented?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Not at all.
That is what she's saying, kind of.
What he did to
I
get
said
to where
a
he
lot
is.
of people are talented, don't get the shot to do what he does.
Or people who
So
make it
it's
to the
luck.
NBA.
But I didn't even get a shot. It was I did it off the strength of me. There was no one who gave me a shot or anything like that. I simply was just you dead ass?
Yo, you being serious?
Why you laughing?
I mean, it's true, bro.
It's not luck. I've been doing this for 13 years. I uploaded 3,000 videos. 2,000 of those I edited myself while I went to college, worked a job, and still went to school.
And yeah,
So that's not. I mean, if that's
No,
fucking,
stand on it, stand on
if that's luck,
Where's the luck at in that equation?
Again.
is there a percentage? We are all lucky in some way, right? If we all have a job, we're lucky in some sort of way. But
God bless.
also
True.
specifically pure talent. And I worked on that since I was 16.
Again, I work with many talented people. I'm not saying about you.
Right,
I'm just talking
16,
in general.
13, Swag is
There's so many
29.
people that really talented never get a shot because they don't do the right thing. They don't go the right path. They don't meet the right people. So there are so many even talented actors here. They never get a shot. So I'm just saying it's pure luck.
It wasn't luck. I just saw an opportunity and just genuinely took it. It wasn't a handout. It was simply just, you know what, I'm talented at Call of Duty. This is what I want to do. It took me 8 years to make it a career. Is there something funny?
It's a freaking video game.
It's a talent.
Permission to dick ride? Hey, he's made tens of millions of dollars playing video games, so.
Exactly. That's that privilege. That's that privilege.
But I'm saying though, you couldn't hop on a game and do what I do.
You couldn't do
That's
it.
a skill.
Your son couldn't do it. Your grandkids couldn't do it.
Some people
Your
can't.
son's grandkids could never do it. They could never do it.
Anything that takes
True.
a talent.
The genes are done. They can't do it. They can't.
How many hours
can't.
a day did you spend?
When I was younger?
Yeah, when you were younger.
Oh, I would wake up 3 hours before school. So I wake up at 4 a.m. and I would play before school. Bus would come at 7. I go to home, come back, and do it again. I was 16. What's funny?
See, there's a disconnect here because to you guys, when you guys were growing up, yes, it was just video games, it was whatever. But when we were coming up, we're like, wait, maybe we can make this career. Maybe if we get good enough at it.
True.
And we create.
Do you not
There's
think,
different
do you not
times.
think if you're talented at something, it's a God-given gift?
Video games is not.
You don't think you don't think it's talent.
You're just too old to understand.
That's It's just, I can't argue that because
There's the word.
Y'all could
I
never
gotta
play
keep it a-
FNCS either. It's
I
the
gotta
same
keep
shit.
it a buck. There's a disconnect.
Same
You come
shit.
from a generation where this didn't exist. It's
Yeah, I
people
feel like this is like a generation debate that they don't get it. That's why they don't get it.
Now,
I agree with
how come
Swag,
in
though.
colleges, they're teaching courses on content creation and esports.
Oh.
When you grew up, this didn't exist, so no wonder you're gonna laugh when you hear this shit because you're from a completely different generation. You just don't get it, and I don't know if you ever will be able to wrap your head around it.
Oh.
And it's fun. But it's like, again, it's
That is true.
You gotta fight back. I'm not gonna lie.
That is true. That is true. Adapt's not wrong on that.
I'm Ronnie.
Ronnie, nice to meet
This
you.
past-
My name's Ronnie.
You were talking about job security.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with layoffs, with being furloughed? Like taking
We
it back
fall
to.
off.
That's being what? What does that even mean?
You lose everything. Every dollar. Everything. You lose everything.
Okay, and then you can rebuild yourself back. You
The same way
reinvent.
you can do if you get laid off. You get a
Yeah,
new
that's
job.
it's
Oh, and-
kind
okay.
of is it not the same concept? Like
I don't know. Back in 2020, when everybody was getting furloughed, everybody was like, "Oh, let me go to social media. That's kind of an easy alternative." So that seems kind of easy.
I know,
And then-
but if you lose a job, you can't.
just get another
No,
one?
you can search for. You have an opportunity to search for another one. No?
Okay, I've been searching for another one for 10 months. I interview every day, give the same spiel,
Skill
have to
issue,
give that
bro.
smile of walking through my
I uploaded
resume.
videos for 7 years and barely got any views.
And did
It's
you
just-
wait?
it's-
You
it's-
uploaded 7 videos and,
And,
didn't
and
get any views
went to school, and still.
and paid rent.
Yes, I still worked. I worked
Oh, so that you had another job.
as a parking attendant. Yes.
Okay, and was that harder
Then what?
than streaming?
No, I was on my phone all the time.
Oh, as a parking attendant, that doesn't sound like you were doing a very good job.
I was chilling.
You were chilling. You weren't good at
Wait,
your
he's
job.
waiting for.
When cars park,
I mean,
they're
parks
done.
like
you
yeah, you don't gotta take care of the car. To be
I
honest.
go like this. I go like this. Yo, right there. I bet. Do you think an aspect of a video game, playing video games, is a talent?
I would say it's a skill. I wouldn't call it a talent. You can master it
It's
with,
both.
But people
my
play.
nephew.
Millions play.
Playing video games is skill. Being good at video games sometimes it's a talent. It depends on how good you are. You can get like, let's say you play CS:GO. You can get global elite by skill, but you only become a pro if you have talent. I'll be honest, bro.
Play video games, but there are very few people who are genuinely gifted at it.
Gifted? What
True.
are they, Mozart?
How is it not a talent? Why is it not a talent what he does?
You know what? I'm open to it being a talent. I think it's a skill. I think it's something you can master. I don't think you're a Mozart that you have this gift of like, whoa, when I put my thumb here and this thumb there and do this combo, I do this.
You'd be
flip.
surprised. I mean, there's people out there who are genuinely
They have their opposable
the
thumbs
most
like
gifted-
so good.
That's like saying, here's a paintbrush, go paint me Picasso.
That's
like,
what?
what?
I'm saying this is so hard. If there's certain games that have $1 million prize pools, if there's a skill you could just learn and you're looking for a job for 10 months, go pick up a controller and go hop in this $1 million tournament and win it.
You
could
could.
win it.
You could. You could.
Perhaps.
You wouldn't even. You could.
Bro,
You could. You could.
she's not
What do you
true.
mean I
She's
wouldn't?
not
You
real,
can't
Find
bro.
your OBS stream key. Stop playing.
I need to work for it, but
The
So
style
like,
is
you're
streaky.
dismissing what he does. You're just dismissing. Like,
I'm not
oh, it's
dismissing. I'm saying
it's
that's
not a
easy.
skill. It's not a talent.
I
Like,
said it's a skill.
it's
I didn't
easy.
say it's a talent. I said it's a skill. It's a skill that
But
you can
how
hone
do you
and
know?
can
How do you
master.
know if it's easy if you haven't done it? Like if you
I
don't.
played Mario Kart. I've played other games.
Not a professional level though.
No, not a professional level because that's not
Exactly.
what I'm trying to pursue.
I know, so but you don't understand what it takes
Exactly.
to be on that sort of level. So how can you try to dismiss it and say it's yours is harder?
What
How
does-
do you know?
what
But how
does
do
it
you
take
know?
to be on that
Because
level?
I've worked at 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So
What does it take to be on that level?
Just gift, and you got to play all
Just
the time.
gift?
Tens of thousands of hours of work
Uh-huh.
and editing and filming and constantly
I'm just
having
talking
to
about pure
innovate and
skill. As far as like the
reinvent
videos and stuff like that, just off pure skill.
I had
you
to
did-
put tens of thousands of hours
Could you get a
into my
refresh second
studies.
zone tarping? Could you?
I have no idea what you said.
Could you get a refresh going into second zone with no mats? Can you get a refresh on the best players? You
I
couldn't.
can also put
Nah,
I can
facts.
circle back and give
Do
you
you know how to
different
short
terms
launch pad?
from
When
my
you're trying to get to third
industries.
zone, third moving. Do you know
I
how to
don't know
short?
No,
launch
I
pad?
don't. But if I
Exactly,
want,
you couldn't, but Excel sheet, you could do Excel sheet.
no, but exactly. I
They're
can
just
go-
talking. They're just talking game.
These
and
refreshes
As a
don't come to
babysitter,
you.
I can talk to you about the different things I do and ask you, could you do that? No, but if you wanted to, you would.
If us four
Put on race.
took 3 days, you don't think we can master an Excel sheet?
Oh,
But let me give you. If I give you 3 days about a video game, do you think you could be that talented as me?
if
Fuck
I
no.
wanted to, I would.
Fuck no.
So let's pay for her, whatever it is.
Pay,
Give you 3
please.
days, but if you lose, you got to give us it back in double.
No, that's not how it's done. You pay me, I'll get the job done.
I would say, in a sense, yes, because you have to put in the work and you got to be on 24/7.
It's difficult to answer that question for us, I think, because we didn't come up in this time frame in this era. So
True.
and technology is totally different now. Because we were just talking about playing tic-tac-toe on the sidewalk with Carl. I appreciate
Facts.
and respect what they do, and I think that's the consensus for most of us, that we appreciate and respect where they are. But it's not, what we did was, we just feel like what we did was harder. And that's what I think.
My mind was changed in the sense that now I'm even more convinced that normal jobs are harder.
What? Wait, how? I'm so confused, bro. Personally, I still think I feel like being a top streamer is not harder, but getting to be a top 1%, the top 0.4% successful streamer is way harder. I'll be honest, bro. Getting there is way harder. I'll be real. It definitely is. But being there, I don't know, because I feel like mentally it's definitely harder, but physically I don't think so, because a lot of these people do have like teams behind them who like plan content, who manage like their social media, editors, some people even like 2 editors. I feel like some people don't even reply to DMs. They have people to reply to their DMs, and they just know if the DM is important or not after. So I feel like in parts, I think streaming is harder, but in other parts, I do believe 9 to 5 is harder too. I'll be honest. I mean, that's my take though.